hello and welcome to another Prog review. And if you've read the description, you'll be fully aware that this time I'm going to be talking about this particular album. Mustn't get any glare on it. This is the Yes album by Yes. This is the expanded version, which was released in 2003 on Rhino Records. There you go. Get extra tracks on it. I was in a bit of a Yes mood today. I needed my spirits lifted, so I was listening to a couple of Yes albums and thought, well, I'll talk about this one. Before this, because Yes is a strange beast. There were two albums before this. There was Yes, hope you're following, and Time in a Word. And there's a young fella on there who used to play guitar with them by the name of Pete Banks, and he got ousted in favour of Steve Howe, because during this phase of Yes there was lots of comings and goings, and they're a pretty brutal bunch when it comes to hiring and firing people, and so poor old Banks got the sack for no other reason than they didn't think he was good enough. He's a very accomplished guitarist, but unfortunately things needed to change, and this is all evident on the Yes album. You see the band moving in a more dynamic direction, and whereas Time in a Word and the Yes album, the songs were a little bit shorter, they weren't as experimental, they're more pop rock than anything else. With this, you see the band fully embracing the prog, with the songs getting slightly longer, a little bit more sophisticated. Again, that's largely down to the guitar work of Steve Howe. Take him away though, and the band is pretty plodding. Again, the way Yes operate, they kind of look for improvements where they can, and it's not until the next album that they finally find the final part of the jigsaw. But enough of the various personnel changes, let's talk about the record. Now, this album was released in the UK 2 days before I was born. Yeah, amazing. So it kind of ages me somewhat. So it opens off with Yours Is No Disgrace. Now, Bill Bruford states that the idea for some of these songs, they'd watched a lot of television and they were nicking theme tunes wholesale, and Yours Is No Disgrace was a bit of a rip-off of the Bonanza theme tune, and that's kind of borne out by some of the covers they did in previous bands. They did No Opportunity Needed, No Experience Necessary. I probably got it mixed up the wrong way around. I think they do a little bit of country and western music in that, but anyway, the country and western theme kind of moves on to this record, and you do hear they are kind of riffing on that kind of stuff. Again, the songs are slightly longer, but it does feel like a more cohesive record. And what's interesting is it's the first album to have like an individual, one of the band doing like one of their own pieces, and in this you've got Clap or The Clap, depending on how pedantic you want to be. Steve Howe doing his live guitar thing, and again that's the first for the band. Again, all these tracks are kind of classics, and they've been done to death by the band over the 40 plus years that they've been going, so it's pretty hard to come to them with new ears. I mean, I've got a good fun. I mean, Yours Is No Disgrace, yeah, it's a bit light and fluffy, and I like the wah wah guitar from Howe, but it's okay. Starship Trooper I've got a bit more time for, because it's it's more more bombastic. It's very cinematic in its scope. Again, it's cinematic for the small screen. They haven't quite made the light jump into interstellar prog realms. But yeah, I like it, and I'm very much like the way it's split into 3 pieces, and they've glued them all together using magical musical glue. And the last section of it, Worm, I quite enjoy, and it's quite easy to play on the guitar if you wanna copy Steve Howe. I've seen All Good People. For me, it's my least favourite track on the record. All we are saying is give peas a chance, and your broccoli, and your cauliflower. But yeah, I've got no time for that one. I just don't like it. An often overlooked track is A Venture. Again, it's a funny little song, but you get to hear Steve Howe's guitar playing. Again, a lot of people say his style is based on like Wes Montgomery, and he's doing all this clever finger picking stuff, and it's more evident on that track. Now, probably my favourite track of the album is the final track, Perpetual Change, especially when you get the strange bit with the drums coming back in and they mess around with the stereo spectrum. I always like that one. I don't know, I've always I think it's always between Starship Trooper and that track. They're my two favourite songs on the record. On this release, we have a couple of bonus tracks. 1, 2, 3. Your Move, which is a single version, which is slightly more palatable because it's edited down, and you don't get all that All Good People crap, which I can't stand, all that happy clappy rock and roll. And then there's Starship Trooper, Life Seeker, which is a single version. Wow, I wonder if that one burnt up the charts. And finally, there's a studio version of Clap as well. So they're nice little additions. Flesh out the release. I mean, what I like about these reissues is they've got some really good. The booklets are really good, and there's some really good liner notes. Again, I'm having a bit of a brain fart there. I've just noticed that the centre spindle of my CD is broken, and so the CD just kind of falls out. That's not very good, is it? I think my kids have been at these CDs. But yeah, the liner notes are pretty good, and you get an idea of what's going on behind the scenes. In fact, I do recommend these reissues. I remember picking them up really cheap. I think you can pick them up for about £4 now these days, £4.99 or something. And they're well worth investigating, especially the later albums, Tormato and Drama, which are packed to the gills with extra demo recordings that never made the album. But I'm moving off topic again. I'm digressing. So this is the first album we could call it a trilogy of classic Yes albums. For me, I like this. I like Fragile, Close to the Edge. They're a good trilogy because you've got Bruford and Squire, the classic rhythm section. So they're important records. That's not undermining Alan White's contribution and what comes subsequently, but it's this version of the band that's important. It laid the foundation for the later stuff, the more overblown and largely inflated stuff. But anyway, it is a classic album. In terms of a rating, that's a pretty difficult one. It's probably quite an easy record to get into. So I'm going to give it a strong 5 worms out of 5. My battery indicator's blinking, so I'm going to have to wrap up. So 5 worms out of 5. My name's been Darren Locke. I've been blathering on about The Yes album from 1971. Thanks for stopping by. Thumbs up, thumbs down, tell your granny. That's it. Before the battery runs out, I've only got one more thing to say. You know what it's going to be. You ready? Prog on. Now, get off with you. Go. I don't want to see you around these parts no more. Ta-da.